Well, I think most people, like some of my friends, have lost patience in waiting for me to come on stage. Well, greetings and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Azhi Kanabi, and I'm coming from North Iraq, and today is a very big pleasure for me to be here. Well, to begin my talk, I would like to request some of you to do something for me. And that's a pretty easy request. That's not like an exam question. Just don't worry about it. Well, the request is, may I require those people who are busy now in this hall to actually raise their hands with the cell phones? Come on, that's a pretty easy task. All right, thank you very much. So by requesting you this, I hope you can get some ideas of what my talk is going to be about. If not, just be with me throughout the talk. Well, back in last year, when I returned to my country, and after being in Cyprus for a period of 4 months, and after spending some time with my family and relatives, it was the first night that I thought, and I said to myself that I have to visit my close friend, because that was the friend whom I spent most of my time with back in then. Well, back in then, he was like selling sandwiches on the main street in my town, and I think it doesn't matter to you what he was doing. Well, when I visited him at the night, what was surprising and shocking to me was that he was not interested in meeting me. He did not seem so interested in having a conversation with me. And that was really, really annoying to me. So I kept talking in hope that I can get some response from them. But it was useless. It was in vain. He was not very present with me. Even though he was my very close friend, we were not seeing each other for a while. We were away from each other for a long while. Well, what I did, he was very busy at the time. And you might be wondering what he was busy with. And I'm telling you that he was busy with social media. He was either, busy posting his best selfie after deleting the first 21s, of his ugliest selfies ever seen, or he was just busy, talking to his girlfriends. And I hope you have noted the plural S, girlfriends. Well, what I did at the time was, I thought to myself, and I said to myself that, who cares? And what I did was, I just instantly left him and went away. And guess what? We're no longer close friends because of that incident happening at the night. Because he was not very present with me. Because of what? Because of social media, yeah. That was the problem. Well, he was sending messages to my Facebook, account through the application which is called like Messenger, but I was not responding to his messages. And, that was the end of the relationship. So what I'm trying to deliver here to you is, please take care of your relationships, because you could lose them at one point in your life. Whenever you are sitting around a table and whenever you are with your loved ones, be present with them, talk to them, and have meaningful conversations with them. Otherwise, you could lose your relationships. And you don't want that. Nobody wants that, right? Well, there are actually 3 examples happening in the past of breakups. Jennifer Aniston, who is an American actress, ended her relationship with her boyfriend because her boyfriend was obsessed with Twitter, because he was very busy all the time and every day with social media. And that could lead to a breakup. And they broke up, finally. It was a true story, and it's a real story happening in the past. And that could happen many, many times to your relationships, and I hope not. Well, I also would like to bring up the drivers as well. We may see many drivers nowadays that they are busy texting while driving, and that's pretty dangerous. You could put your life and others' lives in danger. And many car accidents in the past happened because of, the crazy drivers were, texting while driving. It's your life. Take care of your lives, because you could lose your life. A 19-year university student, he was very busy texting only one letter. And pay attention to this. He was very busy texting only a short message that was containing only the letter K. And I think that was the word okay, but he was like sending very shortly like K to one of his friends while driving. And even though the message was not sent, it ended up in a car crash and a car accident. And then he died. That's a true story that happened in the past. And that could happen over and over again in the future as well. So you lovely drivers, please take care while driving. Get rid of that electronic devices. Get rid of them because it's about your life. You could lose your lives. Well, however, despite all these negative things, all these negative stories that happened in the past, there are actually great things that we can use social media wisely and more productively, fortunately. And what I recommend is, there are actually 3 points that I'm going to point out. And one of them is to track your time online. So it's very important. For me and my personal life, what I do is, whenever I want to study a chapter from one of the classes, actually one of the boring classes, or whenever I start reading a book, I set the timer for about a couple of hours, and until this time is finished, I'm not going to get back to my social media world. So you could use, tracking your time online so that to be away even, at least a little bit from your social media world. Second, which I think is really important, is to go ahead and do prioritizing in your lives. It's very important, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to do prioritizing in your lives. Well, you might have an assignment and a homework that has a deadline and that's due tomorrow night, but you choose to be busy until late in the evening tomorrow. And all of a sudden, guess what? You may happen to go past the deadline and it will lead in a big zero on that particular assignment given by your favorite professor. Maybe. Finally, what I really recommend, and it's one of my favorite points, is to go ahead and be more productive on social media, which is what I'm doing nowadays. You might be a singer, so you could teach that particular knowledge to those interested in that particular field. Those of your friends who are interested in being a singer, you can teach them of how to be a great singer like Adele. And I don't know if she's your favorite. Well, you might be a footballer. You can always teach that particular kind of knowledge to those interested in being a footballer. You can teach, you can, post tip, tricks and ideas of how to become a very, very good, free kick taker like David Beckham. Through my personal life and regarding my own life, what I'm doing to be productive on social media is I'm teaching English on social media. And I have been teaching English for more than 5 years, especially on Facebook. And there are more than, 1,000 different kinds of people that actually took advantage of my English lessons on Facebook. And I have received many, many messages from different kinds of people. Those people whom I really don't know, they're actually telling me through Messenger, you are doing great. It's because of your English lessons on Facebook that we could actually, improve our English. We could actually take our English into the next level because of your English lessons. So nowadays I'm being productive on social media. I'm not wasting my time on social media, nor do those people who are like, studying my posts, nor do they waste time. They waste their time either. Because what they are doing is, they're, studying my posts, my English lessons, and they're taking advantage of that. Well, you could always be productive in your own field. That's what I'm going to, deliver to you. Ultimately, I'm not saying that you should stop social media, because nobody, it's almost impossible to stop using social media, because I cannot stop it myself. But what I really recommend is, track your time online to be a little bit away from social media and prioritize in your lives, because it's very important to do prioritizing in your life, and please do not forget one more thing. Teach your knowledge to those interested in that particular field, to those interested in that particular kind of knowledge, and be productive on social media. Thank you.